welcome to today's video. And I know, different, I'm not wearing headphones, and also I'm using the mic from the computer. Strange, I know. I'm trying something a little different for this video. Also, yes, I know, I probably don't sound too great right now, and if I do, okay then, that's something new for me to learn. I'm doing another Am I the Asshole video. I know, lovely, right? And I'm gonna put the things right here. As I'm looking at them on my phone today rather than on the laptop, because that was, even like the look of that pissed me off. So like moving in a little corner over here and the being here but you not being able to actually read them properly annoyed me. So I'm going to put them right here so you can actually read them with me. And the first one is, am I an asshole for, right here, am I an asshole for kicking my mother-in-law out of the room for trying to change the baby's name? You're joking, right? Why do mother-in-laws think they're entitled to shit like this? I don't understand. I, 29 female, gave birth to my son last week. My husband, 32 male, and I agreed to name my son after my father. My father passed away when I was 14 and we were very close. That's sad. His middle name is named after my husband's grandfather. At least the mother-in-law can't be mad about that. My mother-in-law is very opinionated about everything. Clearly, she has given us her opinion on everything for our son. The day I was due, I only wanted my husband there. He drove me to the hospital, and mother-in-law walks into the room, starts babbling on about the baby's name, feeding schedules, etc. None of that is your fucking business, honey. I kept it together as best as I could. After my son was born, mother-in-law kept trying to talk my husband into convincing me to change his name. She asked the nurses if she could legally change his name. What are you doing? Why do people like to be super controlling? Why? I don't understand. Okay. She even went as far as to accuse me of controlling husband into his name. I yelled at her to get out of the room and we will not be changing his name. The name. Oops. I'm gonna assume that, yeah, it's son, so him. Yeah. Sorry. I didn't want to misgender a baby then. I didn't want to misgender anyone at that point. So I was, yes. Also, for the record, I have lines in the side of my head now. I feel like I need to address them because in the last video I didn't have them. Yes, I have lines in the side of my head now. Why? Because I felt like it. I'm wondering if I should just like do that all along. Like an act like that actual like shortness all along. My mother will probably kill me. Even though my mother can't control me. I don't know why I feel like I can't make choices that I want to make. Otherwise, my mum or my dad will get mad at me, even though I am a grown up and can make those choices myself, and they have no right to get mad at me because I'm a grown up and can do things myself. That sounds like a lot of childhood trauma I need to get past. But anyway, let's continue. She left and has been telling family members a different story. My husband has been sticking up for me. Yes, we love supportive husbands. And told her that nothing will be changed. If she continues, we'll be cutting her off from seeing her grandson. Now, most of her side of the family are calling me names and demanding I apologize to my mother-in-law. She has texted me a few times calling me an asshole. Am I the asshole for kicking her out? Absolutely not, and I agree with the Reddit that says that they're not the asshole. Okay, what? Okay, they've offered a following explanation. Let's read this. I feel like I might be the asshole because I kicked my mother-in-law out. I'm now being called names by some of my husband's family members for kicking the mother-in-law out of the room. They think I'm a huge asshole and owe the mother-in-law an apology. I feel like my actions ruin my relationship with my husband's family. No, your actions didn't ruin shit. The mother-in-law's actions ruined things. Let's have a look as to whether or not. Not the asshole when I would tell her this. You have one chance. You stop this madness now. You apologize for your behavior. You tell everyone else to back off. Or this is literally the last time you'll hear from us, and you'll never see this child again. You are not the parent. You do not have a say until you submit and accept this. There is nothing here for you. I agree with that. I agree with that comment. That is that is definitely what somebody should be saying to this woman. What the fuck? Okay, this is good advice, but have her son / your husband do it. She'll see stands with you. She'll see he stands with you. Your family's presence is your leverage. She has to earn it back. Enjoy your new baby. Yeah, this is okay. The comment I just saw is a comment I have in my head. How did mother-in-law even know the OP went to the labour and was a went into labour and was about to go to the hospital. It seems obvious that her husband told the mother-in-law and didn't manage her in any way. The original poster was ultimately asshole. I'm side-eyeing the husband at least a little bit right now. Yeah, if you know that the mother-in-law is very like demanding and very much wants to be controlling in every aspect, why is that a person you would want in a hospital while you're having like, I get that it's their grandchild, but at the same time it can wait until after the labor. Like after the labor, after the delivery, they can come meet the baby once the baby's here. They don't need to be there before the baby is born. Like, I don't understand that. Especially if you're not comfortable having that. Like, if you know that person is going to be controlling, obviously that's not something you need in a delivery room. You do not need more stress. It is already a very intense situation. You do not need someone who's going to make the situation worse. Like, in a normal family, I'd expect him to be father to let his mother know the grandchild is about to be born, although it's understandable if he doesn't have time to do so. How is he supposed to manage how the mother-in-law's habit is atrocious and didn't see any evidence the husband did anything wrong? No, the husband didn't do anything wrong. They both, as a couple, made a questionable decision to let the mother-in-law in a normal family. In a normal family, you'd be like, hey, the baby's about to be born, but you wouldn't tell them what hospital they're at. You wouldn't tell them to come to the hospital now. Just tell them to wait until after the baby's born. Hell, I wouldn't even tell them that the baby's about to be born until like she's in active labor. Like until the parent that's birthing the child is in active fucking labor. Don't tell anyone shit. Don't tell them anything unless they are someone you would like in that delivery room with you. Other than that, silence. They don't hear shit until it is here or until the person is in active labor. That's that. Because why? Why would you tell them? You should have absolutely told her to leave the moment she showed up. Exactly. Exactly. He should have. But at the same time, I understand the whole wanting your parents to be their thing. Like, I understand. Sorry, I was screenshotting things. Um, Sorry, I just found another one. Sorry, I found one that makes me kind of happy. Okay. Next one is, am I the asshole? I fed my kids stale food and called my wife lazy. Now, the little thing underneath says he's not the asshole. I want to say he's not, but because of the little thing, but they have been wrong before. So let's look. I, 37 male, and my wife, 36 female, have 2 kids, 5-year-old daughter and a 7-year-old daughter. My wife is pregnant with her 3rd kid now. She's about 20 weeks pregnant. Okay, that adds an element. Congratulations, for starters. So my daughters have never been picky about their food since I used to cook I used to cook all meals and never introduced them to junk food. That's actually it's kind of a parenting strategy if you can manage it. It's a very good parenting strategy. However, about 2 months back, I was assigned to a new project at work and have started working long hours, 70 hours a week. Yeah, that is long hours. Wow. So, like, I love how I'm like, that's long hours. Yeah, damn. So I've been unable to cook as often now. I wanted to hire a cook because my wife was having severe pregnancy symptoms, but my wife said she wanted to try cooking for our kids and also didn't like the idea of a stranger at our house. I agreed to her idea since she suggested it herself. I mean, yeah. I mean, so far the husband's being very supportive and just being like, yo, I want to take some of the pressure off of you now that I'm not going to be here. Obviously, that's a very good husbandy thing to do, whether or not your wife's pregnant or not. If your wife has something that you know is going to get in the way of her, that's going to get in the way and make her life more stressful when she has to do more jobs, limiting the amount of jobs she has, limiting the amount of stress she has in her life, is an amazing way to treat your partner. And especially since the fact she's pregnant, yes, take as much stress out of that woman's life as humanly possible. And yes, I said woman because it's wife. That's why I said woman. As we've established by now, you don't have to be a woman to be pregnant. Okay? No one attack me. Please. Jesus. Okay. For the first month or so, she cooked pretty diligently for the kids and for both of us as well. Wow, she's not only cooking for the kids, she's cooking for you. You got a good one, mate. You got a good one. Keep hold of those. You two need to keep hold of each other because you two are both amazing people that found each other. So far, so far. Yeah. However, after that, she reduced the quality of the meals. Yeah, because she's probably getting tired and won't admit that she doesn't have the energy for it. Because clearly, I am under the impression this woman is very like driven and doesn't like to be helped. That's what I'm getting from this. She would just call an emails. What I mean is she started making easy to cook foods for the kids. She would also start giving them junk food as snacks so they wouldn't be hungry for real meals. I chalked that up to her pregnancy nausea for the first few weeks. Yep, that makes a lot of sense. For the first few weeks, but last week, when I prepared an elaborate meal for the family on Sunday, the kids refused to even touch the food because they wanted the usual buttered noodles. Also, buttered noodles are delicious. What the fuck? But yeah, wow, yeah, okay. So I told my wife that I'd be cooking all the meals from now onwards because the kids are getting spoiled by eating junk food all the time. She got mad at me and said that she's trying her hardest and I should be more appreciative. Yeah, I understand you're trying your hardest, but he is trying to help you. Instead of getting defensive, he's trying to help you, honey. He's trying to help you. He's established that maybe it's not working out the way it should be working out, and clearly that you're under too much stress to be doing the job by yourself. So he's taking it off of your plate to make life easier for you. Don't get angry at him for the fact that he's making shit easier for you. I don't know why I'm getting so triggered by this. I told her no one forced her to cook, and I had already suggested hiring a cook, but she was the one who refused. She said that I don't understand her discomfort with having a cook and that hiring one was out of the question. She also told me that I can cook all the meals if I think it's so easy to feed the kids healthy food. I told her that I would do just that. It's probably easier for him, honey, as he's not pregnant. Pregnancy does shit to your body. And that's coming from someone who's like never been pregnant. Like like you know what level of pregnancy I'm referring to. Like it's never been never been pregnant in general, but I can imagine that being this pregnant has its challenges. And that would probably be one of them. That very night I stayed up making different kinds of healthy food options for the week. Fruit salad, chicken stir fry. Oh, that sounds good. Chicken stir fry, obviously I can't have the fruit salad, but chicken stir fry sounds fucking delicious. And don't tell me about food at 11:20 at night because now I'm hungry. Pasta sauce with veggies, mushrooms, and tomatoes, then blend it all. Oh, sounds delicious. Cauliflower soup. Oh, I've never had that. That sounds delicious. You can just see me over here looking at my lips. And banana bread. I froze everything so they can be reheated during the week. I have been just reheating food throughout the week and giving it to the kids. That is the easiest way to do it. Meal prep and just reheat. That should be how people raise their kids anyway. Make the meals in advance, reheat it all that way. If something comes up and you don't have the time to cook the meal from scratch, you have it already. It like meal prepping saves so much. I just don't have the capacity to do it. I would meal prep and still try cooking food. I'd meal prep and forget that I meal prepped. I already know I would do it. So since they only want noodles, I add the sauce and the chicken stir fry to the noodles along with grated cheese. They just eat it without detecting any veggies in it. Yes, that is the perfect way to give veggies to a child that doesn't want veggies. Okay, if you are anyone out there that grew up saying I don't eat veggies, I don't like veggies, guarantee you, yeah, you don't like the texture or knowing that you're eating veggies, like knowingly just like picking up a veggie and eating it. Because I guarantee you, if you had pasta of any kind throughout your life, your parents gave you vegetables. You want to know how I know that? Because my brothers hate vegetables. My mother did the same shit. So trust me, at some point in your life, you've eaten vegetables even if you don't regularly eat them. Sorry. For their school lunches, I pack ham and cheese, tuna, or chicken sandwiches the night before, along with fruit salad and chocolate milk. Damn, these lunches sound good. Although not better than lunches I used to get, but still good. Yes, my mother used to cook me lunch. Used to make me lunches. Special. I was also very lazy. Could have done it myself, but I like my mother's cooking way more than I like mine. So my mother's queen. They get a slice of banana bread for an after-school snack, sandwiches and soup for dinner for me and my wife. Honestly, that doesn't sound too bad. Although your wife probably needs a little bit more calories and a bit more food as she is growing a human and needs the nutrients, mate. But still. Wife told me that food tastes good, but it's stale food, so she doesn't think it's any better than what she used to cook for the still. Whoa. Okay, she's going into this with the let's see if you're any better. And even though you clearly are a little bit better, she can't accept that and is getting mad over the fact that you proved her right. And I don't think if it's someone that doesn't like getting help and doesn't like being wrong, doesn't like being proven that they can't do something, then yeah, I can understand her behavior right now. It's not great, but I can understand why she's doing it. Um, I told her that at least I was putting effort into the meals, unlike her, who was using the kids' picky behavior as an excuse to be lazy. Oh, ow, okay. That's an assholey sentence. Now we've gotten to the part as to why you think you're an asshole. Okay, lovely. That's a bit of asshole behavior, mate. Don't say those things. She's not lazy. She just doesn't have the energy or the capacity to do it as she's carrying your child. Fucking hell. I promised myself I wouldn't get angry. I promised myself before I even started filming not to get angry, but that sentence made me a little angry. She got mad at me and said that she wasn't being late, she wasn't being lazy, and that the kids really were picky. I mean, obviously, if they won't eat vegetables because you have to like puree it up in soup, they are picky to some degree. Now she's not speaking to me for the past 2 days. Am I the asshole? The way you're handling the situation a little bit is a little bit assholey. Calling her lazy is also big asshole, but you're also not being an asshole. You're just trying to be a supportive partner that's trying to make the house work as efficiently as possible and trying to take as much stress off of your partner as humanly possible. But your partner's being a little bit stubborn, um, and is having problems of her own. And I don't think you're really necessarily an asshole. She's just angry at the situation, not necessarily you. Although calling her lazy bit is a bit much, mate. She is carrying your child. Be a little bit nicer, please. Okay, you've offered a following explanation. I need to hear this. I believe I might be the asshole because I called my wife lazy and an asshole. I also fed my kids unfresh food. That doesn't mean anything. Like, okay, it's not technically unfresh food. It is food that's been reheated because it's meal prepped. It's still healthy. It's healthier than half the shit that's like in packages and junk food and shit. It's still miles more healthy than that. You are a little bit of you are an asshole for calling your wife lazy and a liar. I will say you are a bit of an asshole for that. But besides that, you're perfectly fine. Like I don't see the issue here. But let's look at some of these comments. Ooh, the first one is like kind of a large comment. Okay, not the asshole for your kid feeding your kid though seem like good options, but you are the asshole for what you said to your wife. Accurate. She's clearly not used to cooking like you. I'm guessing there's a reason you've been doing the cooking until now, and being pregnant while caring for two small children can be exhausting. Exactly what I just said. Maybe instead of fighting about who's doing the cooking right, you could make it a team effort. Some of your early prepared meals mixed in with some healthy options made by her. That might make her feel less overwhelmed about taking over a chore that she isn't used to, and she might be less likely to burn out and resort to food that isn't healthy. Make a meal plan together, even. Always remember you're a team, you win or lose together, neither of you can win alone. That is probably one of the better comments I've ever seen on this topic. Yes, you're a couple that's raising a family together, you can't do it by yourselves. Lean on each other, but don't lean on each other too much. Lean on each other when necessary, but don't abuse leaning on the other person. Meaning, don't abuse the other partner in not doing anything and making them do everything. Right, and then claiming it on not being able to do it yourself. that's abusing the other partner. I don't care how you see it. That's using the other partner, and using somebody else is a form of abusing that person. Hate me or you like, it just is. And I'm not saying that's what's happening here. I'm just saying, to avoid that sort of thing happening, you work together. That's what a couple is. You work together. You're a team. Pushing and fighting against each other, that's not going to get you anywhere. That's not going to get you anywhere other than a very quick separation. Like, it's not going to lead you towards happiness. It's just going to slowly start pushing you over to the cliff of separation. And once you're down that cliff of separation, for couples like this, it's going to be very hard to pull yourselves back up if you even want to by the end of it. It's not going to be great. This is literally how it should have been from the get-go, not use spite cooking to get one up on it. I don't think he's spite cooking. I think he's cooking for the sheer fact of he wants to help make things easier on the wife, and he wants to help his children. That's all he's doing. He's being a good husband and father, although he's handling the situation in a bit of a dick way that's kind of hurting what he's originally planning on doing. He's trying to help out, whilst also being a little bit of a dick by accident. Like, he's not intentionally being a dick. He's just wording it the way he thinks it is, but he's not thinking about the other person's point of view. He's speaking from his perspective, but he's not thinking about her feelings. That's what I meant to say. You both need to learn how to communicate healthier, especially than what food your kids are eating. Far less healthy for your kids too when they see you both bickering instead of working together. Exactly. A good piece of advice that I was given, which may help here, is it's not you against each other, it's both of you against the problem. Good luck. Exactly. Exactly. A couple is not two individuals fighting each other or having an issue with each other. That's not a couple. If there is a problem in that relationship, you two do not attack each other. You work together to solve that issue, and if it cannot be solved, you find other means to resolve the situation. Whether it's a big relationship problem, like, for example, I'm not even going to go with this anymore. I'm just going to go on a quick little tangent. If the other partner is cheated, horrible situation, I know. You try to work through it together. If it is not possible, then you figure out another solution, whether that be going on a temporary break, e.g. breaking up temporarily, or if the relationship is broken beyond repair, amicably break up. I know it's a lot easier said than done, but in the long run, it's better for everybody in the situation. Okay, so I've just picked one because the little tab has intrigued me. It says, "Am I the asshole?" I had to do that really fast. Am I the asshole for asking my mum what she needs help with? Now, the part that gets me is the part that they've labelled him an asshole for this one. Well, I labelled the person as an asshole. I would love to see how this person's an asshole. We were having people over yesterday, and my mum was hosting, so she was making food and cleaning. Dad was at work while my sisters were in the kitchen helping out. I went up to my mum and asked what I can do to help. She kind of signed and told me I have eyes. I have been there before, mate. It sucks because you're trying to help and they kind of just go, "You have eyes? What needs to be done?" It's like, I don't know if you want me to do it. I'm not just going to walk over and start doing something and get in trouble for doing that thing and getting in the way. Essentially, they're asking because they don't just want to jump into something and get in even more trouble. They're doing the right thing and asking. So far, the mother's an asshole. I left confused, so I walk around the house, then come back. I asked again what I can help with, and she exploded, telling me that I'm 17 and I can't see what needs to happen. That I can't see the carpets need vacuuming or to take the garbage out. That my sisters don't need prompting to help. I came back with I'm just asking, and I don't like her tone. It got into an argument and I left. I talked to my sisters and they told me I need to apologize and use my brain. Wow. Okay. So this was This is what I mean by Reddit sometimes gets this little gets the little asshole not an asshole thing wrong, because this guy is not the asshole. He's not the asshole by any stretch of the imagination. The mother and the sister are assholes because how the fuck do you expect someone to mind read what the fuck they are supposed to do? You ask a question so that you can do something. The person is not just going to walk up and ask you what they're supposed to do if they already know what the fuck they're supposed to do. They're asking to better help instead of getting grumpy at the fact that they want to help you and they don't know what they're supposed to be doing. Take the time that it takes to scream at this man for asking for help, turn it around, or I don't know if it's son or daughter, so I shouldn't be making assumptions, but the amount of time it took for this mother to yell at her child about the fact that he was asking for help and the fact that he clearly, the fact that they clearly didn't know what the fuck they were doing, the amount of time that it took for that woman to do that, she could have just explained to her child what they needed to do, or pointed them to a direction, or told them they needed to do this job. The amount of effort it took her yelling, the situation could have already been handled if she'd just gone, yeah, do that. I don't understand why you need to yell at a situation. It doesn't require yelling. That situation doesn't require yelling at all. I don't understand. I really don't. Am I supposed to understand that? Alright, I already took a screenshot of that. Sorry, my brain just turned off. But anyway, let's go to this little let's go to this let's go to a little thing. I already read a tiny portion of it, and I still agree he's not the asshole. Am I the asshole for asking my mother if she needs help? I could be a jerk since I bothered her with the question. Technically, you didn't bother her with the question. You asked her a question to offer her help in a situation where she might need help. You said she's hosting something at the house. Typically, parents bitch when you don't want to help them when they're hosting something, or when they're trying to do all the jobs together, they complain that they have to do everything themselves, and then when you try to help them, they get grumpy and snap at you. It's like, what option do you want? Do you want help, or do you want to do it by yourself? If you want help, let me help you and don't snap. If you don't want help, don't complain when you don't get it. You can't have both. I sound like an asshole, like I'm projecting, but I've been in this situation, and in both instances, in both sides of the story, the mother is still an asshole. I'm sorry. I've been in this situation with both of my parents, and people surrounding me have both equally said, not the asshole. But I would like to see why Reddit thinks he's the asshole. Let's have a look. Ooh. Ooh, ooh. Someone put soft, you're the asshole. Ooh, okay. You're young and probably haven't had good male role models who take more of the mental load on themselves. Oh, that's a bad assumption to make. He has a dad at work. What do you mean he doesn't have a good male role model? His dad is at work. His dad's at work. I don't know how bad of a person his dad is, but the dad has a job. That's at least a tiny portion of a good role model. They're working. That's at least a positive in the dad's direction. Come on. Your heart was in the right place when asking, what can I do to help, is on your mind. First, take a look around and think to yourself, if I was wanting this place cleaned up for guests, what would I get? What would I get done for me to feel good about the house? He's a child. He doesn't know what needs to be done. I'm sorry. I'm still under the impression when someone says, "What, you can't see that floor needs to be vacuumed?" No. How can you see that the floor needs to be vacuumed? How can you see the tiny little dust pellicles on the fucking floor? How do I know when you last vacuumed that floor? And before someone says you live in the house with them, you should hear the vacuum cleaner. You think a child is going to remember when they last had the vacuum cleaner? Not to mention, she could have vacuumed while I was out hanging out with my friends. She could have vacuumed while I was at school. There are many factors as to why I cannot just assume that floor needs to be done. Why I cannot just assume another job needs to be done, because as it said in this Reddit, she had this individual's sisters helping. This individual's sisters were helping. The sisters could have said, okay, I'm going to do that job next. And he's not in the room for it. Like, I'm going to say he because they said strong male role model, so I'm going to assume that they're making the same assumption that he's a son. Right? And, like, maybe they went, okay, I'm going to do that job next. And the brother comes in, goes to do the job, and the sister goes apeshit because he's doing a job she wanted to do. Right? Seen it happen before. Been the child screaming at the brother for them doing a job I wanted to do. Been the child, so I understand that situation can happen. Right? I don't understand this whole, can't you see what's going to happen? Like, can't you see what needs to happen? No, because I don't know the factors in me doing their jobs. Like, for example, am I vacuuming a clean floor that's ready to be vacuumed? Am I doing a job that's going to upset somebody else because they really want to do that job? Those factors are not going to get answers unless I go to ask somebody who would know the answers. Hey, what can I do? I'm not sure if I'm supposed to vacuum the floor. When was I vacuumed last? Or go to the sisters, hey, were you guys planning on doing this job, or can I do it? You need to ask questions to handle situations. And immediately going on the defense of you're an asshole because you asked a question. Huh? Like, that is literally the logic you guys are having here. That makes sense. I've never seen my mom giving orders to my sisters, so I think they just know what needs to be done. Yes, because they're in a different situation. They've walked in, seen something needs to be done, and done it, right? In this instance, there are other varying factors. For example, she already has help. So we don't know what those sisters have done already. Meaning he probably doesn't know what the sisters have done already. So he has a right to go ask. If it's just him in the room with his mum and there is no other help, okay, him asking, not necessary, but he might still want to ask. And he can totally do that. Like, a lot of that comes from being socialized differently than you. It's a great resource. Check out if you want to know more about it. Okay, so basically someone's just going, okay. Oh, I just heard a part I enjoy. Okay, so I would like to point out that if the mom trains the sisters, she's made the choice not to train her son, and she has no right to get upset when they don't understand what she wants done the way the daughters she's taught from infancy do. Ooh, lovely. Okay. When mom says, I don't need to tell your sisters, what she's really saying is, I don't need to tell them now because I've been telling them all their lives and now they know I didn't tell you and now I'm mad at you because you didn't magically learn on your own. I mean, true. I remember my mom going over everything I did with a fine tooth comb and pointing out all the things I didn't notice. Just how much I'm relating to this. I was not expecting this. That's training and teaching, and you can't blame someone who hasn't had training for not knowing what they're supposed to do. So I'd say the original poster is not an asshole. It's not the asshole his mum is, and for failing to teach her son as she did her daughters, then getting mad when he has a lower layer of competence. Girls don't learn via osmosis, so why would she think a boy would? The whole job of a parent is to teach and educate your child on the world you are bringing them into. Meaning you have a child, you need to prepare them for when they are like you, an adult, having to go out on their world by themselves. Okay? That is your job. So don't get mad when the child asks you to do your fucking job. Before someone says, oh my god, you're saying a parent's job is to raise their child? Oh my god, you just said they have a job. That being a parent's a job. It fucking is. The amount of energy and effort that goes into that, it should be a fucking job. It should be the kind of thing you get paid for. Like, but at the same time, you chose to have children, so should you really get paid for it? No. But like, you know. I'm sorry, I need to read this comment because I have a problem with this comment. Where is the evidence that the mother hasn't spent 17 years showing or asking the OP what to clean up or do to help around the house? She might have. That doesn't fix the solution at hand of there are other people helping her. He's not just going to walk in and assume what he needs to get done, because if he assumes things, he's more likely to get in trouble, isn't he? Like, God, these are clearly coming from people who haven't lived through this experience. OP mentioned that in a different comment that all he does around the house is keep his room clean. If you're almost 18 and can't seriously figure out what needs to be done in the house to get a house ready for guests, there's a lot more issues here than the post. If he was 8, that's one thing, but he's not. The evidence is his behavior. Kids don't teach themselves, they don't magically turn out lazy. Thank you. Oh my, thank you. Also, he's not lazy by any stretch of the imagination. He's not lazy at all. I don't see he's lazy. I don't see that. I don't see how you say he's lazy. Like how? How do you prove he's lazy? How do you prove that? Because he cleans his room? Probably because if he tries to clean anything else, his mom's gonna get mad at him. You don't, or she's gonna micromanage it. You don't understand. Okay, anybody that's right now calling this man an asshole, you do not understand. You have not lived it. You cannot decide that. We see the Grinch smiles because I've just found something. I found something I very much like. Okay. Am I the asshole for kicking out my brother's? Wow, I fucked that up. Am I the asshole for kicking out my boyfriend's sister after she kept making offensive jokes about me? In any way, I don't care the situation. Not the asshole. Unless you have not brought it up to this woman. But I'm assuming you've brought it up to this woman because who the fuck listens to offensive jokes and doesn't say something? But anyway, let's go because they're putting not the asshole. I want to go with they finally got this little tiny like section right. So I don't know where I point because I don't actually know where I'm gonna put it. So I might just be pointing at a random part of the writing. I told my boyfriend's sister that she's not shit. Phone's too high. Yes, I have a power case on my phone. Yes, it's on. Don't judge me. I wanted to make sure my phone didn't die throughout this video. I told my boyfriend's sister that she's not welcome in our home anymore because because of her constant criticism and insults towards me. I'm falling out of my chair, so I'm gonna move closer. There we go. I'm I'm a 20-year-old female and I live with my boyfriend in our apartment right now. It took him a while to introduce me to his family, but once he did, I hit it off really good with his mum and his sister. Until the more we hung out, the more offensive jokes his sister would make about my appearance. Is it bad to go off on a whim that she either has short hair, her hair is too long, or it has like split ends on it, or she's of a different race or a different skin color? Why do I say those things? Because those are typically things people make jokes about. So it's an educated guess based on stereotyping, which is helpful sometimes when it comes to stuff like this. It is also important. Yep, sorry, I ran ahead. Oh no, I didn't know this was the era I was running into, but fuck, I've started this fucking thing. I need to keep going. It was also important. It's also important for me to note that I always found my boyfriend's relationship with his sister really weird. Typically, relationships are not weird, but we'll see whether or not this passes the weird category for siblings. Hint, it fucking does. When we would all hang out, she would sit on his lap, play with his hair, and compliment him an unnatural amount. Okay, this is coming from someone who has siblings, right? I have older brothers. When I identified as a girl, even I wouldn't do the shit now, but I especially wouldn't have done it when I identified as a girl because it is borderline ancestral. Like, and you can hug your siblings, you can love your siblings, whatever, but you cannot sit on their lap and play with their hair. Like, no. Also, compliment him an unnatural amount. For most sibling relationships, one compliment is an unnatural amount. Like, siblings don't compliment each other. You insult each other. Like, you look like a rat. You insult each other because that's just how siblings go. It's like friendly sibling rivalry, but I don't understand that. It felt like I was third wheeling sometimes. Oh, that's not a good feeling. When you think you're being third wheeled, like by your own boyfriend and his sister, that's when there's a problem. It made me extremely uncomfortable. I never told my boyfriend because he'd call me crazy. Accurate. But if he calls you crazy, typically there'd be a problem. Because if he doesn't find that strange, there's something wrong with him, honey. Because that's strange. I told myself that the other people had different dynamics with their siblings and shrugged it off, convinced myself it was normal. It's not. He's definitely got some sort of weird thing going on with his fucking sister. Um, a couple nights ago, she came over with her friend, and the four of us could play poker and hang out. I'm. It could just be that I'm 19. I've never played a game of poker, and I have no idea how to play it. I would love to be. I would love to know that because I have a game of Texas Hold'em poker. Literally have a like a little tin, kind of like semi tin that has like it's a Texas Hold'em poker set that I would really like to play at some point. I don't know why I have it if I don't know how to play, but I literally bought it because I was like, oh, I want to play that someday. Sorry for going on a tangent. Let's just keep going. It was going fine until she started making jokes again and acting really pick me. Oh my, with my boyfriend, which is so weird. They're related and it grossed me out. Yes, it should have grossed you out. Acting like a pick me bitch. So, if you don't know what that is, I'm gonna put a slight little definition right here because that's how she's acting with her brother. Before anyone thought the shit before was weird, like didn't think the shit before was weird. Now do you think it's weird? Because it's totally not normal. Definitely not. What the fuck? She made a random joke about there being some stuff on the floor because I couldn't bend over to clean because of my stomach fat. Whoa, that's not even offensive. That's not even an offensive joke. That's just borderline. Not even borderline. That's just fucking rude. Like that's not a joke anymore. Like that's not a joke. You can say that's a random. That's not a random joke. That's just being a cunt. I was like, ow! I just smacked my thumb into the table. That actually really hurt. Okay, I managed to hold my tears in when I saw that my boyfriend tried not to laugh at it. Honey, drop him. Get rid of him. Hasta la vista, fucking bye. Oh my god. That's that I genuinely feel bad for this woman. Oh my god. I'm not plus size. I'm 130 pounds. That's not even that big. What the fuck? Nah, fuck you, can't. Fuck the boyfriend. He not in a nice way. Fuck the boyfriend and like fuck you, can't. Fuck off. Get the fuck away from me. That kind of bad. My fucking god. Ignore that noise. I don't know what that was. I think it was because my hands were both here, so the air only had to escape through my mouth, but I was laughing at the same time. So that was awful. Sorry for that noise. Everybody watching. An hour later, we were casually discussing life. What the hell just happened to my fucking throat? And I told her and her friend that I went to college. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good now. Sorry. I had a little like bubble chilling here. I'm fine now though. That's good. I'm gonna leave that in because normal life, right? That I went to college that some people consider lowbrow because of an easy acceptance rate. Oh, they like consider it like a iffy school because like it's easy to get accepted in, so it's not that big of a deal. That kind of school, which either way, college in general doesn't matter how easy it is to get into. It's difficult. Like the university I went to, or like college for some people, it's kind of relatively easy to get into, but it's so fucking hard, bro. Like regardless how easy it is, college work in general is much harder than people first expect it to be. She told me that she told me that shocked her, and I asked what she meant, and she said because then pulled her eyes back. Oh no, I was right. These offensive jokes are about race. Oh my god, she's being fucking racist. Okay, now I really would have said something to the fucking sister. I would have gone fucking ape at this point. I'm Korean and I never thought I'd hear a joke like that after high school. Yeah, because people in high school suck, and you would think after you leave high school, everyone's a grown up adult. No one would make those jokes anymore, right? And then you get pick me bitches like this that never grow out of high school because they peaked in high school because they were prom queen and they were insanely popular. But when they grow up, they realize that not everybody likes them. But yes, that's what I'm getting from this bitch. It enraged me, as it should. I stood up and told her and her friend to shut up and stop laughing. My boyfriend told me to calm down, but this made me angry. Bitch, he told you to calm down. He should have been like, oh, listen here, ho, you will not insult my fucking missus like that, or my girlfriend like that. Get the fuck out of my house. You and your friend, get the fuck out of my house. We're gonna keep making racist jokes like that towards my partner. But clearly, he's a cunt, as we've established from laughing at the fact that you have stomach fat earlier. How are you still with him past this conversation? How would you not kick all three of them out after this fucking stomach fat joke? Anyway, continue. I yelled at her and told her she's been hurting my feelings the whole time I've known her and that it needs to stop. She looked at me like I was crazy and told me she was just kidding. And to lighten up. Doesn't fucking matter. You're being offensive, you stupid bitch. It doesn't matter whether you're kidding. You just shouldn't say it. I said it's not funny if it's at my expense. Exactly. A joke should never be at the expense of somebody else. You should never be laughing at the person. You should be laughing with the person. If you're laughing at the person, you're a cunt. If you're laughing with the person, it's fine. That is what comedy is. Laughing with somebody, not laughing at the expense of somebody. You can make a joke about a certain person as long as it's not offensive towards that person and it's not at the expense of that person. It could be an offensive dark humor joke or an offensive joke in general, as long as it's not at the expense of the person and you're not trying to be a cunt, which this woman clearly is trying to be a cunt. I screamed at them to get out because they were making faces at each other, acting like I was insane or something. She sort of cried a little and left while her friend comforted her. Now you play victim? Fuck off. I was right. It's that kind of bitch. We all know the kind of bitch. In fact, I'm fairly certain the second I said pick me bitch that's popular and peaked in high school, all of you had somebody that popped into your head. Because we all know one. Or very few. Like, a lot of them. In my case, I know a lot of people like that. That peaked in high school. Yeah, and they're assholes. Lovely. Later on, I argued with my boyfriend because he said that I went too far. Don't argue with him. Break up with him. We got over it and he's not mad at me anymore, but I'm still annoyed with him because he never stood up for me once. How much louder can I scream break up with this man? How much louder can I scream it? Not very loud because it's midnight and my parents will sleep inside. And they'll probably kill me for screaming too loud. So we'll just say, break up with him. Honey! Oh my god. Yeah. I found out through him that his sister and his mum have been talking bad about me. I'm so, and he knows about it? No. I'm so upset. I should have been the bigger person, but I let my emotions get the better of me. I feel like a huge asshole. Nope. Nope. Reverse. You should have been the bigger person. Really? Really? You think letting that shit slide is being the bigger person? No, you stood up for yourself as you rightfully should. No one should take shit from anybody else. Absolutely not. If you don't say something, they're going to think it's okay and keep going. Stand up for yourself and never be ashamed of the fact that you did that. Or never feel bad for standing up for yourself. Like, would they have realistically let you say that shit about them? No, so don't let it happen in the reverse. If you would not, if you made, like, not that you would have, obviously, from this, I'm clearly under it, they wouldn't have said the same shit. If you had said that about the sister, would the sister have been okay with those jokes? No, and she would have stood up for herself, so why is it any different if it's directed at you? It isn't. I feel like I overreacted and should have kept my mouth shut. No, this is should have kept her mouth shut. You did not overreact. You did the exact, like you did the perfect reaction. You did the acceptable reaction to this situation. Added in. Oh, this is added in. I understand why people are shitty on my boyfriend for his unfair behavior. I'm mad at him too, but I do want to make clear that he's often never on a specific side or has a strong opinion. He has very much been there for me. Clearly not, honey. And if he's not never on a specific side in that aspect, he should have been on a specific side, honey. I don't care what you're about to say. He should have been on that fucking side. Whenever I complain about conflict or I'm upset about my trauma, he's always there for me. He's clearly not always there for you when you complain about a certain conflict, as he's not in this instance. So you can't say he's always there for you when you complain about a conflict or when there's something happening, because he's not. If he wasn't in this instance, he is not always like that. He can pick and choose when he's like that, and if he can choose to be an asshole and not be on your side in a situation like that, then what he's doing is clearly not how he feels. And he's clearly faking how he reacts to certain things for certain reasons. I would not still stay with this man. You deserve better. You deserve better. Whatever you're about to say, you deserve better, leave him. There is always greener grass somewhere else. Leave him. And before everyone gets mad at me, leave him. Leave him. No one should settle for that kind of behavior. Ever. Coming from someone who's dated some fucking awful people. Never settle for that shit. Never. Because it doesn't get better. It only gets worse. That's exactly why this is so hard for me. I'm sure most of you have been in a relationship, so you can understand how scary it is to leave someone that you value so much. Yes, but it's better in the long run, honey. I know it's scary, but trust me, months down the line, you'll go, or when you meet another person who's better than this guy, you'll go, why the fuck did I ever settle for that shit? Know your worth, honey. Know your worth. By the way, he didn't laugh at the racist joke. His face actually indicated that he was offended too. He just didn't say anything. Okay, if his face indicated he was offended, why not stand up for his missus? Why? Because he didn't care. Your face can show something, but it doesn't mean that's how you feel. For example, she was crying as she left. She wasn't upset. She was just playing victim. He can play offended. Actions speak louder than words. His actions were, he was offended. Didn't do anything about it though. He didn't stand up for you. He could say he loves you and that he's always going to be there for you, that he's always going to stand up for you and he's 100% supportive of you. But if in a situation where he has the opportunity to show that, if he doesn't do it, he's full of shit. Plain and simple. I'm sorry, but plain and simple. He only laughed at the fat joke, still bad though, added in. I'm gonna talk to him tonight, even though I'm really scared. I'll try to keep this updated. Additionally, can we all stop shitting all over me? This is now blown up in my face and I'm trying to find the best way to deal with it. It's never been this bad previously. Yeah, never been this bad previously because you probably didn't say anything previously, am I right? And now it's gotten worse because they think it's okay. This is why we cut shit, right? And we don't let it keep fucking growing. We stop it at the fucking root when the shit starts happening. Squash it like a bug, because otherwise it will grow and it will get worse. And you will regret never saying anything to start with. Also, they added a following explanation on why they think they might be the asshole. I don't even want to. I'll read it, but I don't want to. I will read it for you guys, but I don't want to because there is absolutely no aspect in which you were an asshole for this situation. My boyfriend's sister kept making offensive jokes about me, so I got mad and kicked her out of the apartment. I could have been the asshole because I snapped and yelled at her. I should have been the bigger person. No, I've explained why in the past. No, 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 no. I want to see these comments because if anyone calls this bitch an asshole, you're the devil. I like this comment, and this is one of the only comments I'm reading. I'm going to read 3 comments. This comment, the reply, and then this original comment is reply. That's it. Not the asshole, but you need to get rid of the whole racist family. You want to have kids with a guy that's going to let their aunt make racist gestures at them and call them fat? Thank you, honey. I have no idea where she got it from. Maybe the mum, but it's weird because a big part of why I love my boyfriend. Oh, this is the original poster. Lovely. My boyfriend is because he's very supportive and curious about my culture. He encourages me to make certain meals and asks me questions about my culture. Has overall been very chill about me as a person, which I often use to dictate if I should date someone because being Korean is a part of who I am, so I never saw an issue until now. That means he probably hid it until now, but he can't hide it if something is right in front of his face. Because if you're actively doing something, but there's nothing like cutting in the way of your acting, right? For example, if you're trying to act a certain way, but nothing is stopping you from acting that way, there's no hurdles in the way, you can act that way. The second there's a hurdle in the way, it becomes very difficult to still act that way if it's not how you naturally feel, right? Him being nice about your culture, being like, oh, I'm so intrigued. Oh, cook me this. I want to learn all about you. Like being all happy about the fact that you're Korean is easy to do when there's nothing in the way. There's nothing cutting through, going, hey, this, right? And that he didn't say anything or laugh at the joke, but he also didn't stand up for you, and that could be a pretty big indicator of there was something in his way of being nice, of being the typical nice guy he is. There was something in the way how he truly feels. And he couldn't, in his right mind, openly lie. Now, why could he not lie and stand up for you? Because he knew his sister was going to say something back even worse. That's the only reason he has for not standing up for you, is that his sister was going to blow it all up in his face. So instead, he sat back because you can't be in trouble if you didn't say anything, right? That's exactly what's happening. Drop him, he's not the nice guy you think he is. Anyway, if someone tells the victim of racism defending themselves took it too far, that person is racist, period. I live in a really racist area. Most people can be very good most of the time to me. They can be supportive and kind and even help me. Doesn't mean they aren't still racist. Thank you. Thank you. That right there is the explanation. Okay, I think that's going to be the last one because I am almost an hour into filming. Wow, I wasn't even really looking at the session timer. Like the session, like the longevity of this recording. Holy shit! Although I have a little pause to cut out, so it probably won't be an hour. Who knows? That was like, whew, that was hectic. Sorry, I'm still staring at the screen, thinking, how the fuck is someone that racist? I'm gonna turn my screen off so I can talk to you guys. Wow, that light was coming from my phone. Wow. Okay. I need to turn down my phone more. But yes, wow, that was insanity. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, let me know if you guys want to see more of the Am I the Asshole. I think I'm gonna do more of Am I the Asshole because I'm really enjoying that. It's actually really fun. Um, I'm sorry, there might be new gaming videos up soon and more reaction videos up soon. I am just trying to work everything out as well right now. Um, I'll keep you guys updated on everything that happens on all of my social media, so please go look at them. They're in my card in the description, and also I'm going to put them right here up on the screen because I know I can do that, and I am not sure if I'm confident doing that, and if I'm not, I'll cut this whole part out of the video, but if I became confident enough to do it, that should be right here. Please follow, subscribe, whatever. Follow me on my socials and subscribe to this account if you want to. There's obviously no like you have to, like you're not being pressured into doing it, of course, like to their own. If it's not content you want to watch, that's perfectly fine, just keep going. If it's content you want to stay and watch, thank you so much for being here to watch it. I value each and every single one of you that watches these videos. You have literally no idea how much it means to me that you actually took this amount of time out of your life to watch me, because that makes me happy. But before I keep rambling on about this video even longer, I should probably leave. So I will see you guys in the next video. I love you so much. Goodbye.